Do you have this mystery product in your Etsy shop?
We've all been busy adding them to our shops.
The listing I am flashing up on the screen here is this particular product and has sold 2,570 times and was only listed just 3 months ago. Everbee is estimating that they are making over $18,000 a month in revenue with just this one listing.
And how much profit would you say that is?
I would guess that to be between $6,000 and $7,000 profit for just this one design.
What product?
Sweatshirts! Hi there, I'm Shawna, and I'm traveling this week. I'm in North Carolina with my best friends, and they all have Etsy shops. We started this channel to document our journeys. We're all in very different places. My friend Mike with just a couple of sales right now, my friend Shay who is at over 100 sales, and my friend Laneta who is over 1,000. I'm a six-figure seller, and I've really been encouraging them to get their shops going and to be consistent in their shops. We decided to start this channel to document their journey. We thought that this would be something that would really help motivate them to stay consistent. And we thought it would be a really wonderful thing to share with you since you might be in a similar place to one of them. I will take a minute to invite you to go down and subscribe to the channel so you can become a friend that is not getting left behind either. While you're down there, take a minute to tell us where you are in your journey. We're documenting our journeys through the videos on this channel, and we invite you to document your journey through the comments here so we can watch you grow with us. Now, since we will be talking about sweatshirts in this video, I did decide to surprise my friends with a special sweatshirt. Check this clip out where I do give them their special sweatshirts, and I did add something to the sweatshirts that if I were to list them on Etsy would help them stand out in the market. I wonder if you can spot it. So we're in North Carolina for our trip, and I'm here with my friends, and I have a little surprise for them. So you know that we've been talking about sweatshirts and how I've been suggesting you guys add them to your shops. Well, I thought it would be fun. I printed these up with Printify. And I got to eat a sweatshirt.
Yay!
So we can figure out sizes here in just a minute. But there's one for each of us.
Oh, these are so cute.
I did something special on the sleeve.
This is a small. Just right.
We'll switch. So the name of our new channel is No Friend Left Behind. So I put No Friend Left Behind.
So cute.
And
I love these are so cute.
And stick around at the end of the video and I'll show you how I got this shaped text inside the snow goggles. I've been kind of encouraging everyone to do sweatshirts and to do sleeve print on their sweatshirts. So I wasn't sure how big the sleeve print was going to turn out. I used up the whole space toward the bottom, and from side to side I used up the whole space, and it came out really like,
It has her name.
yeah, it came out really kind of large.
So cute.
So we personalized it with our names. I hope you guys like them.
I love them. Thank you. Willie loves it too.
I'm guessing you spotted it. I personalized the sweatshirt with sleeve print, which is very, very popular, and I personalized it with our names. This is a great way to stand out. As a matter of fact, a recent subscriber on the channel mentions in one of our comments that she's a very new Etsy shop owner and she just started to grab some traction. She has 2 bestsellers on personalized sweatshirt. She suggests in her comment that if you haven't grabbed traction yet, that this could be something you might want to try. And I definitely second that recommendation she gave. The sweatshirt listing I'm referencing on the thumbnail of this video is actually a customized sweatshirt option where you can have whatever you want written across the front of your sweatshirt. Now they are specifically targeting maybe a school, team names, or mascot. You want to be careful when you're working in the sports niche because you do not want to infringe on any NFL team names or logos or slogans. But I'd feel pretty comfortable putting a listing similar to this one in my own shop because they really focused on the SEO that they use, the search engine optimization that they were putting in their title and their tags, really focused on personalized custom sweatshirt, team names, school mascots. You do want to do your due diligence if you do decide to work in the sports related niche. Make sure you're comfortable with what you're putting in your shop and that you're staying safe. And of course, you'll also want to be careful here with colleges. You don't want to do any infringing there either. If you need a little more evidence that sweatshirts are worth your while, then let's just jump on real quick. We're going to look at eRank, which is a paid tool, but I'll jump in there with you real quick and I'll show you some stats that really illustrate for us that there's lots of demands for sweatshirts. You can see in the right-hand corner here that I have the word sweatshirt as my keyword. Average searches at the top is green, 80,836 people searching every month. Etsy competition here at the bottom is red. So there are a bunch of listings that have the word sweatshirt in them, which means we would need to niche down and get very specific with what types of sweatshirts we are offering. And then you can see the monthly trends here, a spike in December and a lull there in the summer months, which is what you kind of expect. Now, I have only just started adding sweatshirts consistently to my shop over the last couple of months, and I have been able to make a nice number of sales as a result of that, and I am going to continue consistently adding sweatshirts to my shop. I personally started with shirts, and I do suggest getting good at one product before you start adding another product. There's kind of a learning curve that comes with each product and some extra legwork that you have to do that kind of slows your listing schedule down, because then you've got to go buy some new mock-ups, and some research should be involved when you're buying your mock-ups. You need to make sure you're buying mock-ups that are selling designs well on them. You want to look for the style of mock-up that's doing well in the niches that you're working in. And then you've got to redo your description so that you make sure that the customer knows what type of sweatshirt that they're getting and has information, the important information they need, along with your listing photos. But once you do have a handle on the item that you're selling, so in this example, I got good with my shirts, then you want to start thinking about adding designs that are doing well on those shirts to other products. And we call this doubling down. Now, there's a lot of ways you can double down, but doubling down is how you scale your shop from getting that first couple of sales to getting numerous sales every day. In this case, doubling down could be you have a design that starts to sell on a shirt. So now you take that design and you add it to a sweatshirt. You mock it up on a sweatshirt. This happens to be a really popular color, sand. So you want to make sure you do some research there about what colors are going well. And that can change per niche, but overall sand is a good one. This is also the Gildan 18,000, by the way, if you were curious what sweatshirt I used to print these up and what sweatshirt I put in my shop. But after you have a design that starts to sell, think about adding it to a sweatshirt. Another way to double down is to just add more items in that niche to both shirts and sweatshirts. And I do make this two separate listings. So I might have sweatshirts available in my shirt listing. I could just add them to the drop-down menu. But I really like to create two different listings with two different targeted SEO blocks. So your SEO is your title and your tags. That's how the customers on Etsy are finding you. And so if the customer is sitting down to put teacher sweatshirt, I want my phrase in my title and my tags to say teacher sweatshirt. And I want my mock-up that's going to, people show up with their eyes. So those first images that they're seeing, if one shop has their image, their design popping up on a sweatshirt, and my first image is a t-shirt, that customer is likely to scroll past my t-shirt because they were looking for a sweatshirt. So you can mix the SEO and have shirt and sweatshirt in the same listing, and that's great. That's totally fine. You can do that. But just keep in mind that if you don't put any sweatshirts as your main mock-up photo, that the people that are looking for sweatshirts are likely to choose another listing that has a sweatshirt as their main mock-up image. I am going to give you 3 more niches that I found on eRank to be great spots to design sweatshirts in because of their high search volume, but relatively low Etsy competition, meaning there's lots of customers coming to Etsy to type in that niche. So let's say bride sweatshirt, but relatively low competition when you're looking at how many Etsy sellers have that phrase in their title or in their tags. And then I'm going to end the video with showing you how I got that shaped text here, how I did friend. This is a great way, a great strategy to use in your designing. And I'll show you real quick how I did this and what I used to do it. But first, life is all about balance. And so here we are, we're on vacation. my friends and I, and we are supporting each other while we're working on our Etsy shops. We are happy to support you also. If you have a question for us or you need a word of encouragement, drop down in the comments, chat with us, let's get a conversation going. But every day while we've been here, we are working hard so we can also play hard. So before we get to that, let's go have a little fun. Don't forget
To find the
Balance in life.
Did we lose him?
Okay, so let's do some market research while we're here. Hey Shawna, look at this. This is a good idea. They cross-niched this with the dog and with the mountains in the background. So
I love it.
it's super cute with the cross-niching.
Sunglasses on the doggy.
All right.
Looking good, Manny. Yummy.
Hurdy. Let's make us some breakfast.
You're still here. I know that you want to know what those 3 sweatshirt niches are, and I do not think you're going to be disappointed. When we head over to eRank and we look under the related phrases to the word sweatshirt, which is what I originally popped in, we get to see all of this extra data. And this first column that we're looking at here, average searches. So that's the people coming into Etsy and putting these phrases over, these keywords over to the left into the search bar. And over to the right, you're going to see all the Etsy competition. So green is good, red is bad. On the average searches, all of the things on our screen right here are green. That means lots of searches. And then over to the right, we're looking for some green areas, and yellow also gets my attention. Red is okay. It just means there's a lot of competition, so your designs need to be very competitive, and you might need to find a way to further niche down and become more specific with your designs. But looking here, I thought 1989 sweatshirt was fantastic. We see here average searches per month, 2,185 searches, and there for Etsy competition, there's only 6,688 listings with this phrase 1989 sweatshirt. So I think this would be the 35th birthday. I'm doing quick math. I think it's the 35th birthday, but I know that this is birthday related. So it might be something you want to check out. They're specifically looking for sweatshirts on this. Then we've got Teach Sweatshirt. I've spoken about this a couple times. I have another channel, Simply Shawna. I'll leave it linked down below. And I also have a calendar resource all about the teacher niche. So if you're looking to build out your teacher niche, I used to be a 4th grade teacher. I'm in the teacher niche, and it's a great niche to be in. But specifically, Teach Sweatshirt is one that's got some space here. We see 1,861 monthly searches. People coming to Etsy, typing that in to the search bar. And for Etsy competition, we've got 17,114 listings on Etsy for those people to choose from. So might be a spot that you want to explore. Another interesting one was custom pet sweatshirt there down toward the bottom. We see they've got 1,330 monthly searches, and then we've got 19,211 listings on Etsy that have that. 3 interesting sweatshirt niches for you. Now let's jump on the computer and I will show you how I got this shaped text. First, we need some ski goggles to use in our design. So I went right over to Creative Fabrica to do that. If you're like me and you're not an artist or a graphic designer, you'll need a subscription to a service, something like this, where you can get artwork to use. I will leave a link down to Creative Fabrica below where you will get 1 free month before you start paying for the subscription, so you can check it out and see if you like it. So I just wrote ski goggles in the search bar. Once you've settled on the ski goggles that you want, and you'll see, or any image, whatever you're searching, once you've settled on what you want, you can click into it. You'll want to make sure that it's got full POD usage allowed so that you know you're safe to use it in your online business, and you can download it and you'll be ready to go design with it. Next, we'll need to go over to the design app we're using. I'm using Kittle, and I will also leave a link to them down below, as you'll get a 25% off discount with that link. Here I've got the ski goggles. I just dragged and dropped them right onto my artboard in Kittle. I went over to the left at the top where it says add headline, which was what I just did. And this is where we're going to start adding text. This is how you add text. I can play with my fonts over here in text settings. I'm going to go with Sunny Drop here. And we are going to write the word friend inside the goggles. Adding another headline here so I can get some more text above the goggles. I'm going to go with the pretzel font on this one, and we're going to write snow above the goggles. Now let's shape the word friend. And I'm going to go into transformations over to the bottom right and click distort. And that's going to give me all of these little circles that I can pull on and stretch the word as I manipulate these little points on the word that they're giving me. So kind of easy here to just kind of take the edges and pull the word friend, the D and the F, over to the sides where I need it. You can see how I can just pull on that circle and it changes the letter. It kind of warps the word a bit. And you just play around with this a bit until you kind of get it to fit the shape. We are going to run into a problem with this shape with the nose. The top is no problem. The word friend kind of nicely rounds out up there, but here are kind of these lever buttons where you can pull on them and you can't get the word, the R and the N on the other side of the nose piece to pull down. So we're going to need to do something different. I'm going to create two text boxes instead. So I just erased the one we had, and I'm going to need to break this up into two parts to do this shape. In the first part, I'm going to write just half the word friend. So let's just put F-R-I in this one. Once again, I'm going to go over to distort, and I'll get all those little circles, those points where I can pull on it. And now I can start distorting the word, the first part of this word, F-R-I, to fit this half of the goggles. I'll then add a new headline. We'll finish the word friend. We'll kind of blow it up to just fit in this space. Then we'll hit transformations, distort, and we'll be able to just stretch it out and get it into the right spots. With a little bit of playing around with the word, you'll usually be able to find a way to get it to fit in almost any shape that you want, even if you have to kind of break it up the way I've done here into two parts. Just to quickly show you how I finish this up, I'm going to kind of have this on fast forward motion while I explain it. I wanted left behind written below. And I knew I needed to do this in two parts so that I could have it stretch into the nose the way I wanted it to, but I was having a hard time spacing it out. So I first did a text box and just did the whole thing left behind to help me with spacing. And you can see here, it's just not going to work if I try to pull it into the nose. So now I can do the word left and kind of use my whole phrase there as the spacer or the guide. And once I have left behind kind of in the right spots, I can erase the one I had underneath it as my spacer and just use the same process to help pull the words up into the nose. And this time I'm really not stretching the bottom. I'm just stretching the top so it curves around my goggles. So this is how I got my design. Snow friend left behind. I will just want to make sure I export this with a transparent background for my design. I then headed over to Printify. I used the Gildan 18,000 sweatshirt, and I used SwiftPod, the print provider SwiftPod within Printify, within the Printify system, to be the print provider that I use to print these sweatshirts. And I did them on the color sand. All you have to do is drag and drop your design right on to your sweatshirt here, and you'll be ready to go. You can go into uploads, drag and drop it into your library, and then drag and drop it right onto your sweatshirt. You'll be able to choose your color here, which again, I chose sand. If you were putting this listing in your shop, you could choose a couple of sweatshirts if you wanted to offer on a couple of different colors. I don't like to add too many colors for the customer to choose from because I don't want them to feel overwhelmed with the decision. And then I've got my design ready to go. Now we want to add our sleeve print. And you can see at the bottom, SwiftPod does allow you to add sleeve print. Right here, I could do the left or the right. Now, if you use a different print provider, then a different print shop, you might not see that option down there. So you just want to make sure that if you're using sleeve print or you want to offer sleeve print, that you're using a print shop that will let you add it. So I used this image here. I did this over in Kittle and dragged and dropped it just like I showed you with the first one for the front. And I put it right down at the bottom, and it takes up the full space from left to right. And it looks like it's going to print so small is what I thought, but when you receive the sweatshirt, it actually has a pretty nice space that it prints on. And then get an idea of what your image is going to look like, what your finished product is going to look like, because Printify will show you it all mocked up. Now, I don't suggest using these images as your listing photo images. Your listing photo images need to be beautiful. So I would suggest investing a couple of dollars in some nice images that people are selling on Etsy, photographers that have taken beautiful pictures that will look very flattering. And there are ones that you can purchase with the sleeve print. You just want to make sure you're showing the sleeve print not on the wrist side, but on the outside. As you can see, it's going to print on the outside of the arm. Thanks for joining us on another episode of No Friend Left Behind. If you enjoyed this video, then you'll like the one that's popping up next.